Welcome back to Arifureta Anime Review, episode number 30. I believe this is 34. Yes, 34. We are reviewing the 40th episode of the series, which is also happened to be the third to last episode of Season 3, The Overpowered Vampire Princess and the Godlike Rabbit's Grand Battle. This episode adapts from the entirety of Chapter 1 of Book 10. Now, mostly put, there is some dialogue cuts here. Mostly put, they're just trying to speed a bit, but it's not too terrible. It's not a terrible adaptation of this book. Yes, we left the last chapter where Yu is in the past, where she's seen like a battle, and then we meet her uncle for the first time ever in this series. Her uncle, yes. Those of you curious though, is this the first? Was this a character who they skipped previously and just edited now because they beat the previous book? Here's a shocker for you. Unlike in the case of the princess of that kingdom they never come from, which they skipped the debut of her brother, this time, nope, they didn't do it with this one. You're thinking, why? Here's the weird thing. He made his debut in this book. Yes. So, Yu's uncle, his name is Delind Gaudia Besrito Alvarati. That's his name. So, apparently, and we also find out Yu's birth name. Yu was a name basically that Hajime gave her in the start of the series when he first met her, because she didn't tell his name. So, her birth name is Alatia Galadia Vesperito Alvarati. Yes, that is pretty much basically what that's basically what that's what her real name is. So, basically what happens here is that we see her interaction with Uncle, where he talks, like at the battlefield, and then they go back to the palace, they chat more, they walk in the hallway, and a lot of the stuff here is a good chunk from the book itself. Like, here's the weird thing about this whole flashback. The book itself mentions Yu's father a lot, and yet he's not mentioned this episode. She's the queen of this. With the kingdom itself, they do not name the kingdom in the episode. I don't remember them naming it. I didn't see a name in the episode. I didn't see anything. By the way, the country Yu originally is from, it is known as excuse me. Alvaridi. Yes, that's pretty much basically what is the name of her country. Yes. Now, as for why they, it's kind of a weird thing that this episode is the first time we bring up this country, because Yu's past has never been explored prior to this. Never has. And this episode we kind of explored here, where the good chunk of basically the uncle's dialogue is kept in here, like good important bits. There's other bits, like there's mention here in the book basically about where her father had to retire early due to reasons, and she became the new queen. And then, of course, basically she requests to have dinner with her uncle, which she had to play the card because it was in order. So he does his own thing. And then, of course, she basically is sitting in her throne room, and then the door to her throne was destroyed, and then her uncle comes in and stabs her. This, of course, later to being sealed. Now, of course, basically, then we cut the present day, where we see Yu taking on her copy. We also see Shia, where she takes on her copy very briefly. If you're really curious, did they really trim down, basically, the fight between Shia and her copy? Not really, because this fight is really quick in the book. Yes, it's a brief thing. Of course, would be basically all the emotions here. Eventually, she's able to beat her copy pretty easily. It was by far the most simplest fight of all the fights we see here. And like I said, it's only short because that's how it was presented in the book. The battle itself between Shia and her copy took up about 2 minutes. It was really quick. Yus took up half the frickin' episode. Well, the whole thing is about debating about her connection to you, or basically to Hajime. And then, after a while, she beats, basically, her copy. And then Shia comes in the room. Which, of course, basically, they cut the line out of, oh, our room's connected. And then, of course, she mentions, oh, yeah, could you keep an eye on Hajime in case anything happens to me? Shia gets upset and starts fighting her. Yeah, so it's a brawl with her because she got upset. Of course, she slaps, which, if you're curious, is slap in the book? Yes, it is. And then we cut to another room where we see Kari and her copy fighting each other. And, of course, basically that their fight gets interrupted by Shia and Yu, which there's a lot. By the way, Shia swears in the book. She drops an F-bomb. And I kind of get the reason why they removed this, because it probably not be appropriate to put this in anime and have basically a rabbit character drop an F-bomb. Yes, she dropped an F-bomb in the book. Yes, Seven Seas Entertainment had a character drop an F-bomb. As for why in the world they did this for, I have no idea. I mean, could have been the original writer way he presented it in Japan. I don't know, because I've never read the original Japanese version. For good reason, because I don't know Japanese. Well, I don't know how to read Japanese, so there's that. So, yeah, they also changed the dialogue a little bit here, where Shia basically bickers with you, basically how good, basically talk about how good they are at sex. Yes, seriously, they put this in the book, but not in the anime. And of course they mention, oh yeah, that, okay, so Hajime is into you because of her butt, and Shia because of her chest. And the anime doesn't really bring this up at all, probably because let's speed the scene up a bit. And then, of course, Shia brings up the common anime trope of, oh, Yu's breasts are small. Also call her flat-chested. And that apparently ticked her off. Yes, seriously. And I'm like, yeah, my reaction is like, oh, cool. 2 women basically fighting each other over how big their chest is. Okay, this scene itself is pretty much basically standard Japanese anime 101. Having 2 women bicker each other about their chest size. Which, that is not what they're arguing about basically in the book. Which, that I blame on the studio for that. Yes. Because, oh, we have 2 beautiful women fighting, so... Okay, so aside from arguing about Hajime, let's bicker about their chest size. No mention of the rear end. Nope, no mention of Yu's rear end. Not at all. There's no mention at all here. It's very much like adult content. what they had to change here, per se. Now, I'm not sure what's been in the dub, so I don't know how Tina Ballard and Amanda Lee is going to present. I'm going to ask about that. This scene, when I chance to meet her Friday, because this is gonna be a very weird scene for her to talk about, because I'm sure her reaction would be like, I'm sure even she probably thought it was weird. I'm not sure, but I'll ask about it on Friday. Yes, and of course Corey basically is like, oh, she's basically kind of agreeing the fact she's weak, and apparently, oh, her copy's like, oh, I'm getting stronger, and then apparently off screen she kills her copy. Okay. And probably because of the fighting, eventually making up, Curry mentions, oh yeah, they kind of ruined her test, and that's how the episode ends. If you're curious with this weird ending for the episode, yeah, this actually is from the book. Yep, they ended this is the same way that the chapter ended, so this is actually not the anime's fault for this bizarre ending. Yeah, this actually is the fault of the light novel for this. Yes, seriously. You want to prove the fact, basically, that they ended this one that way? Well, they did. With her basically, like, leaning against a wall with her legs near her chest. Yeah, that's how they ended the chapter. With her doing this. Yep. Yeah, her sitting that very same way. Which, yeah, that's actually... So... Next week's episode is also the title of the third chapter of the book, which is What Makes a Hero? Could they adapt the whole chapter next week? I don't know. For one thing, they didn't finish adapting chapter 2 yet. Nope, the chapter is not finished. Yeah, in the case of last week's episode, they got roughly about part way to this chapter. I would say they almost got it done. Yes. I would say they're probably going to finish up the chapter 2 next week and maybe go through the whole thing in the next chapter. I don't know. So, my theory is the last episode is going to be called Key to the World. Key to Our World. That's... yeah, the Key to the World. That's probably going to be the name of the final episode, but we'll find out next week. And can you actually believe we have only 2 more left? Yeah, now we're in the area of a season where, for this series, they've never had these episodes before. Not really. First season was 13, second season was 12. Though 13 was basically just an OVA. But this is by far the longest season whole series, and I got to admit, this actually was a smart idea on the studio to do this. You know, give us 16 episodes. I kind of thought they would do just 3, but no, they am doing 4. See, I'm a little surprised about that, but yeah, but we'll find out basically how the season will end in 2 weeks. But right in fact, we don't have any more production errors. Now, I do know Wednesday we're going to see Return of Re:Zero. Yep, what's the next anime to do? Well, Headhunt to Another World, that's next. And that probably the last one I do. So I probably have to do the year 2 anime probably tomorrow at this point. But hey, at least get Monday's anime done. Yep. Okay, so that's pretty much it particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. Okay? Next video. Bye.